Okay, in our little chat today, we want to talk about money, colds and flu, and aging. Your little example. Sweet thing came by the house the other day, and she teaches school, right, and was complaining of a sore throat, right, and sinus congestion, and she took equivalent to about 4, maybe 5 grams of ascorbate and probably 15,000 IUs of vitamin D3. And about 2 hours later, when she got home, she called back and it was all gone. Right? Now, so what I want you to understand is how that can happen, right? And then what impact that has, that little example can have on our entire economy, and then how that relates to reversing, scientifically of course, all right, the aging of the cells. Now, first of all, remember, all right, we mentioned this before, 90% of the doctor's visits and 90% of absenteeism in work, right, is as a result of colds and flu, viruses, something the doctor can't do about. But everybody goes to the doctor and says, please give me an antibiotic. And the antibiotic won't do a thing for a virus, right? But he gives us what we want, right? Now, that also accounts for about 80% of all money spent in the medical community, something that science has already shown us, just like the little example I gave you earlier today, right, can be completely eliminated. Okay, now what happened in this particular example, we'll go with, this comes from the Vitamin D Council. And remember, the most glaring example there was Dr. Cannell. All right, and remember, the Vitamin D Council started out as the 39 foremost vitamin D experts in North America. Right? His clinic, or his ward in the hospital, he made it mandatory that everybody that was in there took 2,000 IUs of cholecalciferol. All right, vitamin D3 every day, nurses and everybody. Now they had a big, as it swept through the ward, everybody got this strain of flu that was going, except for them, not a single case. All right, so what they had done is they had gotten the levels, all right, of the D in the system, all right, and it was maintaining it. And so consequently, what D does is the body converts it into calcitriol. And the calcitriol is what the body uses to repair the damage on the inside of the body, including the damage from cancer. Okay, so if we can assume with our bar graph here, all right, that their scale was anywhere from 40 to 60, right, is a safe range and that'd be 40 to 60 nanos per milliliter of vitamin D in the blood serum. Now, with our example with our school teacher, all right, let's say, and we pick school teacher because who gets exposed to more viruses than the school teacher? Children bring everything in the world, didn't they? Okay, now, let's say that in that safe range, up until that day, that she'd been down around 40. All right, and remember, all right, that the crucial level is down here about 32. Now, when the body contracts a cold, all right, it loses about 50% of its ascorbate during the first 48 hours. Okay, so let's say if the ascorbate, all right, and the D3, all right, because those are the things that work hand in glove, all right, that would have dropped her level down here to about 20, and colds occur between 18 and 22. Now, if she had kept on going down, all right, remember that cancer occurs at about 12, cardiovascular disease at 12 and cancer at about 5, okay? And so these things that we're talking about, particularly the ascorbate, and then when we get back into the things that we talk about with the correct essential oils, these are the two foremost things that make the body create the telomerase. And what telomerase does, this increase in telomerase increases the length of the telomeres. And when you increase the length of the telomeres on the DNA code, what do? You increase the youth expectancy, how long you're going to be young, and then consequently how long you're going to live. Okay, all right, so bottom line, all right, is that if we can teach, all right, everybody, say, okay, we know that 1/3 of the small businesses in the United States are abandoning medical care. They can't afford it. All right, so if we can show them how to instead of talking about medical care, start talking about health care. Now, if instead of paying $500 a month for the medical care, how about 20 bucks? All right, 20 bucks from the employee, 20 bucks from the employer, right? And then eliminate 80% of all of these expenses. And then that way you'll be able to have an insurance policy that gives them back money because they didn't get sick. Okay, the whole thing revolves around what? The immune system, all right, colds and flu, all right, the ascorbate, all right, and the vitamin D. I hope this wasn't too long. We'll pick up some more on it later.